AACS2034 fundamentals of computer networks. We will explain the assignment working. So here are the content of our assignment: introduction, network design, address design, and digital resource. And the last, we will demo the pin connectivity. Okay, now I would like to invite my teammate Jian to introduce the introduction of our scenario.
Thank you, Ian. Without further ado, now I would like to proceed with the introduction part of the assignments. Assume that we are recently hired as a lab engineer by AACS2034 College to set up a local area networks and configure the network based on the scenario below. There are two locations, location A and location B, and there is a distance of 400 meters for location A to location B. Location A hosts chancellery and management departments on the third floor, administrative department on the second floor, finance departments on the first floor, marketing admission departments and marketing department on the ground floor. Besides location B, location B hosts 4 faculties, but it doesn't specify which faculties on which floor. So we assume that the faculties of Humanitarian and Technologies on the third floor, faculties of Business and Law on the second floor, faculties of Health and Medical Science on the first floor, and faculties of Social Science and Asian Management on the ground floor. There are several requirements of the scenarios. First of all, subnet. Each of the departments and faculties is required to have its own subnet. Next, the numbers of routers. There must be at least one routers in the networks. And furthermore, IPv4 addressing scheme. The IPv4 addressing scheme must be clusterful instead of clusters. And moreover, the growth of the addresses. Do not consider the numbers of addresses for 20% of growth in all faculties and departments. Next is the initial password. We set the password C exclamation mark SCOs. We need to set the password and secret password to all intermediate devices such as the routers and switches. So we set the password C exclamation mark SCOs as the password to all wiki wirelines and conceals. So we set the password AACS2034 as the second password for operational for all intermediate devices. So now I have to invite Yang to continue his talk.
Okay, now I would like to introduce about the network design of this university college. Okay, as we can see from the diagram, we're having two locations, which is location A and location B. We use two routers to connect the location A and B, and the distance between the two routers is 100 meters. So we use the fiber optic to connect the two routers, and you can see the location A, the top floor is the chancellery and management department, and the second floor is administrative department. First floor is finance department, and the ground floor is administration department and marketing department. On the location B, the third floor is Faculty of Innovative and Technology, and the second floor is Faculty Business and Law, and the first floor is Faculty of Health and Medical Science, and the ground floor is Faculty of Social Science and Asian Management. Okay. In this network design, we use the router PTNT, and we use switch 2960 and the 9 PC on each department. So we use fast internet to connect the PC and the switch, and we use gigabit internet to connect the router and switch. And also, here are the configuration terminal. We use it to configure the router. Okay. Next. Now I would like to continue with the address design part. Okay. Here are the calculation of total number of required hosts. In location A, the Chancellery and Management Department will have 20 hosts needed, and continue with the Administrative Department 50, Finance Department 20, Admission Department 30, and Marketing Department also 30. And on the location B, we are having 4 faculty. The first faculty will have 600, and continuing with the second 500, and third 200, and the last 400. And under here is the formula of the calculation of the cost growth. We need to consider the cost growing 20%. So after the cost calculation is calculated, so we can get the location A will in Chancellery and Management Department will have 24, and continue with the second 60, 24, and two department are 36. So in location B, after the 20% of growth, the host number will also increase. You can see from here, the faculty of innovative and technology will increase until 620 hosts needed. So far, the faculty of innovative and technology is the largest host needed. So we need to consider this and select to use for next calculation. Now, we will need to determine the class. As I said just now, the largest number of the hosts is 620. So we cannot choose the class C. So we need to choose the class B because the largest number of hosts in class C is 256 only. But the class B is 65,536. So in here, in class B, we also choose the prefix 22. Because the prefix 22 consists of 1024 hosts, and the usable host is 1022. So if fulfill the largest number of the host requirement that I said just now, say 720. So as we are designing the classical subnetting, so we will use the same subnet for subnet mask for each subnet. So we use /22 prefix. Okay. Here is the classical subnet table. And as you can see, this location A, the department in location A, we all using the same prefix, which is 22. And so the subnet mask will be the same, which is 255.255.252. You can get it from this formula, like 11111, and until the 252 indicate the 6, 1, and 2, 0. So we can cross this up, we will get 252. And so in one subnet we will having 1024 hosts, and the usable host will be 1022. So the first user until last user, the rest between it will having 1022. And the broadcast is the last IP, which is 162.168.3.255. So following the department will be the same concept. Will all the rest of the IP will be 1022. So the location B also we use the same SAM, and the rest between them also 1022. So now come to the addressing table for the router. In this network design, we use two routers. So for the first router, we will connect the switch of location A, and the second router we will connect the switch for location B. So we connect the router and switch by using the gigabit Ethernet. And the IP will be 172.16.0.1, and the following will be continued. The SAN will be all the same, and the default gateway for router will be non-applicable. So this is the addressing table of switch, and we use the interface VLAN to connect to PC, and we can see from here we having 9 switches to indicate each department. So the PC also, the interface is NIC, and here we have 9 PC, and the default gateway will be the router, each department of the router. So now we will come to the digital resource part. I will like to invite Jian to continue.
Now I would like to proceed with digital resource that we use for our assignment. First, we use a Cisco packet traces to design our logical topology diagrams. We use Google Docs to prepare our assignment detailed documentations and report. We use Canva to prepare the slide for our presentations for the subject. We use the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as we are required to share our presentation videos to these 3 platforms. Next, we use Google Meet for long distance online discussion for our assignment. We use WhatsApp for online text discussion for our assignment. So for the last sections of the presentations, I would like to demonstrate the key connectivities in the SAN networks and different networks. For example, in different networks, I would like to ping from administrative departments user PCs to faculties of innovations and technology user PCs. First, we need to know the IP address of the innovations of the faculty of innovations and technologies user PC. So I need to go to faculties of innovation and technology user PCs, hit desktop and command prompt, and type the command IP config. So we know that the IP default address is 172.168.20.3. So we copy the address. And so now we need to go to the administrative department user PC. We click desktop, command prompt, and type the command ping, and paste the keys, and paste the IP address we got just now. So it works. The administrative department user PC has successfully linked to the faculties of innovation and technology user PC. So now I would like to repeat the next step to ping the administrative department user PC to finance department user PC to test whether it can ping different devices in the SAN networks. So first, I need to know the IP address of finance department user PC. Then I need to go desktop, command prompt, and type command IP config. So we can see that the IP address of the finance department user PC is 172.168.3. So I need to copy the IP address. And so now I need to go to administrative user PC and type the command ping need to see how many subnets are inside the location B. We can see that there are 4 subnets inside location B. So we need to go routers, static routing, and to in the network fields, we need to enter the network address of each of the subnet. And the subnet mask of each of the subnet. And next hop, we need to enter the IP address of the opposite router. So we need to type one by one. Since there are 4 subnets, so we have to